after you guys end up losing to the Pistons, right? And at that moment, you took the loss. You didn't take the loss well. It was kind of a gut punch. You were contemplating retirement at that moment. What was the conversation when you talked to the Pacers that, you were having with them after that moment?
Yeah, man, I was kind of, I don't know, I was going through a lot at that time. So when I got back after the offseason, I had a good offseason.
Of training?
Training, great offseason. Then working with Bird. Bird actually took my game to the next level. But I was still going through a lot at the practices. And I was going to practice with Bird every day. I stayed in Indiana because I was able to just escape a lot of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with a Hall of Famer, so it was just incredible. And then one day I woke up and said, damn, I just need to retire. Because my situation at home as a young dad, I didn't like how type of parent I was.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I'm going to retire, just fix it all up, focus strictly on the family, then come back.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, keep the money. I wasn't even thinking about the money. I'm like, let me retire and we'll figure something out when I get back. But then I played, and then sure enough, the brawl happened. So I almost wish I would have retired.
Yeah.
For a year. Because it would have been two bad stories, but at least I wouldn't have been in the brawl.
Yeah. So you was following MJ for real. wanting to retire and then come back.
I mean, at some point I wanted to come back. I wanted my mind to be right.
Yeah.
My mind.
Because you were then, what, mid-20s at this point?
I was 23. I was
earlier.
Like 23, 23, right after, yep.
Speaking on the brawl, it's almost 20 years since it has happened. And I know it was crazy when I watched it, and I was like, man, what is going on? It's the NBA.
You in high school?
I was in high school, yeah.
Had to have been, yeah.
Yeah, I was probably let me see.
2004.
I was 14 then. Yeah, I might have been a freshman or maybe 8th grade. I don't know. You were in high school.
Yeah, I think I was a freshman.
I would
think I was in 9th grade or something like that.
I was shooting at that time.
But almost 20 years since it happened, and from the older perspective of it now, hindsight of it all, I know you speak of regretting it and how it kind of put a dampen on your early career. Have you ever gotten to I'm sure you found peace with it all happening and putting all the pieces together with that moment happening, right?
Well, took a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, that was one more defensive player, one more first team all defense. I was going to be an all-star again. I already made 13 more NBA before that. And I finished 6th in MVP voting the year before that. So my game was at the next level. So now I'm you talking top 2. I was already, Larry Bird had me top 10 in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So that was devastating. I wasn't really able to bounce back. I came back the next year. I was still going through a lot, and then I got traded. Things started to set in. So then when I went to Sacramento, I told Rick Adams, I said, listen, I'm going to try to retire. So I was like, I just need you. I don't want to make a big deal out of it. I'm telling you first.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep me on the bench, play me every now and then. I'll go in there, but make it look like I'm not playing well. And I'm going to ease out of here. And then Rick was like, he said, hell no. He said, we going as far as you're going to take it. We had a long talk. Rick Adams said, we going as far as you're going to take us. And we had a great talk. He was like a father figure kind of. And then as he started to, give me that confidence, and that positive energy back, we was I think 11th place. I got there in January. So I was like, all right, cool, we're going to go to the playoffs. So I told Metta we're going to the playoffs. They was like, no, you're not. So I was 273 pounds at this time. So I play at 248. At this time, I play at 248. So I'm 273 when I decided to get it back going. So it took me a while to work my way in shape. We went to the playoffs, played pretty well. I started to really pick it up. And Kenny Smith, that was second half MVP.
Mm-hmm.
I still made first team all defense that year too. I was still pretty solid. And then at that point, with that talk with Rick Adelman, I was started to figure out ways to get over it, but it took a while. So then I reached out to John Green and do it through the bear. I was just trying to have all this hate in me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I reached out to John Green. He was super surprised when I reached out to him, just what's going on? It's between man and man. So I was able to really find the good out of that situation. But it took a long time.
Yeah.
Then you got the fans. I'm not worried about fans and people talking trash. I can handle all that.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit annoying because on the flip side, I do so much social impact. I'm doing all this work, you know, and what's being pushed out there is not necessarily what I would like to be.
Right.
Kind of pushed out there.
Right.
So it took me a while, like, to, you know, kind of get over it.
I know I dealt with the guilt of it when I like broke my leg, and you know, at that time I had an older D West, and then the veterans of like Danny Granger, Roy Hibbert, but more so like I felt the guilt for D West, who was pushing that age, and he was kind of closing that window to win a championship. Shout out D West. He went on ahead after he left us and went and won a chip in Golden State. But that guilt of, damn, like I didn't. It wasn't intentionally that I broke my leg, but I just knew after that happened, that window closed. Did you kind of have that guilt after, because you know you were on the rise? You know, you said it yourself. You started to feel even more confident in the league. Your numbers was going up. And it felt like you were really coming into the player that you wanted to be. Did you have any guilt towards like, damn, did I close that window for Reggie?
Oh, 100%. It was so much, but yeah, the Reggie, that was there, the city of Indiana, great city, Jermaine, Larry. You know, Larry was probably the one I really felt, you know, the worst, because I was with him every day in the summertime, even along with Chuck. But Larry gave me his time. You know, which is why I think I'm still like indebted to Indiana. I love Indiana. It's my favorite team.
Yeah.
You know, all that stuff, my favorite city. And then Reggie, because it was a short window of opportunity. Even though I couldn't predict that. Like I was really working on myself at that time. I was seeing my therapist after practice every time. I was doing my thing. I didn't engage with Ben Wallace. You know, everybody was saying, why you didn't engage with Ben Wallace? Well, if I engaged with Ben Wallace at that time, that's a tech.
Right.
I already lost a lot of money in suspensions.
Right.
All right, I gotta look like a punk on TV. I gotta eat that.
Yeah.
I gotta eat that. Even though I'm heavier than Ben. You know, I'm not scared of it.
Yeah.
You know, but I didn't feel like engaged. I'm trying to like really stay focused, because what people don't realize, the year before that in the playoffs, Rip Hamilton baited me into a flagrant. The game was tied 67-67 to go back to Indiana. He hit me in the groin. It shows it clear on TV. Should have been an offensive foul. They didn't call it. I elbow him in the face, tech on me, 2 free throws, and they score. They go up 4. We was the best team in the league, right, that year. They go up 4 and then win by 4, go to the championship, and beat the Lakers. So now I'm sick, you know? So I'm like, this next year, I ain't getting it, no problem. So I'm working on myself all summer, practicing, you know, doing exactly what my therapist is telling me what to do. And then boom, like this cup come hit me in the face. You know, I was not ready for that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like all my only problems are gonna be on the court.
Right.
If me and Paul Pierce start Jordan, walk the other way. I wasn't prepared for if a fan smacked me in the back of the head.
Right.
Right.
Oh, all right, cool. If a fan smacked me, yeah, don't respond. All right, we wasn't prepared for that.
Because I think now listening to it, you checked all the boxes of composure.
Super disciplined.
Until the flying cup. And then at that point, it was just like, oh, hell no.
Checked, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
I was shocked. I was super shocked, you know?
Man.
And it was like you knew instantly who did it.
Yeah, everybody tried to say I hit the wrong fan,
wrong person, right? I remember
got
that.
super quick reflexes.
Yeah.
I was like,
Bible.
Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching.
It was the right person.
Yeah, that's what's crazy.
Pinpoint right person. Yeah, you got how I play defense. I see everything. I'm steps ahead of people. So you told me I'm gonna see that quick. Boom, boom, boom. It came from that way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, the crazy thing was that the guy who hit me, he betted the guy who when I got hit. The dude was like, "Oh, ain't no game was happening at that time."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Nothing happened.
Right. So he gave it a dead giveaway.
Said, I bet you can't hit him.
So I wish you would never did that. Actually, I would have not known who did it.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? But as I went into the stands and you see him like, oh, this motherfucker coming towards me. Then, you know, and the guy, so he bet John Green $50, you know, because John told me.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
You know, when I reached out to him, I would have never known if I didn't reach out to him. You know, I'm just stressed this whole time thinking it's all me. And when I found out that story, I felt way better about myself.
I was about to say.
Kind of,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
It would definitely close the chapter.
I'm like,
on that.
I'm like, damn.
Now the world knows.
$50 bet. But they don't really talk about that.
Right.
Get in on the playoff action and win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks as you and the world's best players take the game to a new level during basketball's postseason.
You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Pick with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000 with basketball, hockey, and baseball entries today on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. All y'all gotta do is make your picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds on Prize Picks.
Download the app today and use code PODCASTP for a first deposit match up to $100. I repeat, go download the app today and use our promo code PODCASTP for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Cha-ching!